Wole Ojewale. He is the Regional Organised Crime Observatory Coordinator for Central Africa at the Institute of Security Studies. Wole, thank you very much indeed for your time. So how significant is this move and how much of a blow is it for France?
Thank you so much for having me. This is a major blow for France in the sense that what stretches from Mali to Burkina Faso to Niger has now closed that gap that separates other areas where, particularly for the new resurgence of Russian power projection in Africa. So what you can see now is that there is now a stretch from Sudan to Central African republics to these other countries in which Chad has actually been a buffer over the years. And the significance of this is that this is going to impact seriously on France's security cooperation with some of these countries in Central and West or Sahelian Africa for the obvious reasons. Niger has been a pivotal country in helping to stem the flow of illegal migrants to Europe, particularly those who were heading to France, and having pulled out of that and all the security architecture that France has erected in those regions in the recent time. It's almost like saying France's presence is completely collapsed now, and there is also a common denominator to the countries that are actually resisting France's presence in the region, being the fact that these countries, with the exception of Central African Republic, are largely governed by military dictators, and the last one that just transited to the democratic leader in Chad now.
Yeah, and it does sound, therefore, that given what you've said about the infrastructure and the history that France has had, that Chad has plenty at stake by removing its cooperation with France. What's Russia offering?
Well, I think the essential products that Russia is marketing to some of these countries, regime protection, in which they know that their democratic credentials are going to be questioned by countries like France, and they claim that they want to exert their ultimate sovereignty, which in a sense represent the entire Western alliance in the region. When I talk about France actually probably questioning their democratic credentials and even the seat-tie syndrome that some of these countries' leaders have exhibited in the recent time in not signing up to democratic transition in the country, in which when they secure a partnership with Russia, those issues are completely off the table. So Russia is interested in their resources and also offering them security, regime protection, not necessarily something that translates into helping them to protect their people in the long run. And it is also not to absolve France of certain misdeeds that have probably happened in the course of their cooperation with those countries in the recent years.
Wole, thank you very much indeed for your input on the news hour. Wole Ojewale there joining us live.